Hey, what's going on, guys? Nico here, Pixmarta, whatever you guys know me as. So, you know how I do the podcast, get perspective every week. All this. I don't know. Every week we try to do it, but then like some weeks we only get like 10 views because it's just me and Adam, and there's no really feedback because we almost have like the same opinion on things. So I'm gonna start doing the podcast every 2 weeks, so more can happen, more to talk about. Get somebody prepped in here, so it's like they can have it planned 2 weeks ahead of time. That's where we are with the podcast. But I also don't want to have those 2 week or that week in between of us not talking about something, like us as in like me and you, because Adam's busy sometimes. I know he doesn't want to do the podcast, so the energy isn't there, and all this other stuff. So what I would like to give you is like a piece of like how my mind works. So every week, every other week, I guess, I'm going to try to do like a 10-15 minute video of just me talking about random stuff that I happened to me in the week or stuff that I've just been thinking about. And yeah, so with this very long intro, sorry, here it is, okay? So one of my family members this week, my brother-in-law, Ivan, he was telling me how somebody at like 10 at night was cutting grass in the dark. And all my family was like, oh, meth is a hell of a drug, all this stuff. But like, what was going through my head is like, what if he's like a superhero? So he doesn't want his identity known. So like, they don't see him during the day. So at night, he's just like Batman or something. But it got me to think, just like, what if we're in a universe that like has superheroes in it, we just don't really know about it, and they try to keep it off the news as much as possible, like these UFOs and stuff like that, or just weird stuff. But legitimately, one of my biggest fears is that I'm in the DC universe. I've always wanted to be in the Marvel universe, but I'd be mortified if I'm in the DC universe. If I see Batman, I'm off in myself. And I always wanted to just think like, I want to be in the Marvel universe. So like, I don't know. That's what was going through my head. Like, what if he's Batman? But then I'll be like, crap. If he's Batman, then we're in the DC universe, and I hate life now, or more than I already do, I guess. That kind of brings me to my next point. Like, what kind of superpower would you want to have if you were living in a superhero world? Like, what if one day, out of nowhere, somebody had a superpower, and like you're like, oh well, then he's gonna tell us how he got him, or stuff like that. So then now superpowers are a thing, which kind of brings me to my next point of, what if it was like Boku no Hero? Like I love that show so much. Like I know it's mainstream and stuff like that. Everybody knows that it's that anime is so popular. I know some people are gonna click off because it's anime now, but like that's legitimately a world that I would love to live in. But with my luck, I'll probably be like quirkless. Even though he's the main character and stuff, he's actually quirkless. So like he got his powers from somebody like OP. But like obviously that's a main character plot armor kind of thing. So it's not gonna happen to everybody. So if you're quirkless, like what do you do? Like you're a normie. You can't do anything. It sucks. That's how I feel now. My only superpower is that I can go weeks with trying something and just give up and try something else. I just go back to back to back with stuff that I'm into, and I don't know, I never get good at anything, but I know about a lot of things, if that makes sense. I spend enough time to learn the game or learn that talent to hold my own, but I never get good enough to just be a pro or something like that. And I think that's my problem. I never stick to one thing over and over, and like I don't know, I can never get good at anything, and it frustrates me. I have a billion different skill sets, but I'm never great at any one of them. I think that's a quote in a song, actually. I don't even know. But speaking of video games, I honestly have learned more from video games than I will ever learn from school or anything like that. I remember not knowing how to type, not knowing how to type fast, and you have to have those home keys. You have to be on all those, I don't know what the letters are, like ASDF and JKL, whatever. I don't know. I never took keyboarding because you have to do that or they get mad. I learned how to type, and I'm sure a lot of people did, from an MMO. Mine was RuneScape. RuneScape, you're sitting on World 2, just selling lobbies, 200 GP each, over and over and over. There was no auto typer, there was no bots, there was just you on a keyboard typing your little fingers away until somebody traded you and then scammed you. That's just how that worked in RuneScape. You just go that whole time trying to sell an item, and then you get scammed for it. that brings me to like why I have trust issues too, because it's just, you could be best friends with the person on the game, and then you could just out of nowhere they scam you, they hack you, they do something, you start trusting them too much. But in reality, it's just the game. They don't care. They just want what they want in the game. They don't care about friendship. Some people do though. I know people that actually have gotten married over RuneScape or another MMO and met and had a good life, or they've been best friends ever since. I've have a best friend that I've never even spoken to or seen or heard his voice for that matter. And people that follow my stream, follow my video, his name's Quail. So it's just like, Quail has been my friend for as long as I've been streaming. He was my first ever follower that wasn't family. He followed me when I was playing RuneScape and I was playing some mobile game, and he was just always there. And he's still there to this day. If you go in my channel, he's there watching me, typing to me, making jokes to me. The same jokes he's been making for as long as I can remember. He's just always been there. I think it's been like 10 years since he's been a follower. He's definitely an OG. And then I even switched accounts, and then he followed me on the other account. It's awesome. Like, there can be really good friendships, but then you can also lose a lot of friendships on video games. I know this has been brought up a million times, but my best friend in real life scammed me for some GP in a video game. So like, I don't know, like, you learn how to trust, you learn who not to trust. And even if you do trust them in real life still, like, you know never to trust them in a game, because that's just how it is. And that's how video games have taught me more than my teachers and stuff like, about life skills, you know, typing. That's life. Everything you do is on a keyboard now. Like, you kind of have to learn how to type to survive in this world, and that's how I learned how to type fast and accurately. Because if you mess up, no one's gonna buy from you. You're saying something nonsense. I think I learned more about the military and conspiracies and all this from video games, such as like Call of Duty, you know, Metal Gear, all this kind of stuff. Like, I've learned from video games more than I learned from real life, because in real life they kind of want to lie to you, and then in the game, like, games made back in like the 2000s, kind of like you see all those things that were developed in that game come to real life. So that's kind of like they knew what was there before we knew, and they kind of made it science facts rather than science fiction. So that's pretty cool too. I learned about, you know, the Greek gods and stuff like that from playing like God of War and the Roman gods, from God of War, from Dante's Inferno. All these things have taught me. I knew about those things before I even went to school, which there was a segment in English about it. It was my favorite subject because I knew everything about it before I did it because of video games. So it's just like, people that think video games just cause violence and just wants to, like, is detrimental for little kids. It's not true. It's just not. There's a lot of learning aspects from video games, and they don't tell you that because they just want to villainize everything nowadays. Yeah, and then like GTA taught you how to, I don't know, like smack a hoe or something. I don't know what GTA taught you. I guess to be violent. No, I'm just kidding. GTA taught me what not to do. That's what that did. I don't even know where I began this video at. I just trying to go with the flow here. I have no rhyme or reason for this video. I just kind of wanted to put something out there so you're not left in the dark for a week, because I know every other week is like my worst week because I'm not consistent. It's not always my fault because I don't always feel like doing anything. Like today was just a really productive day for me. I just went and I did the laundry, washed dishes, you know, all this kind of stuff, just because, you know, I knew my girlfriend wasn't feeling good, so I did that. So it kind of got me in a productive mood. But then I know Adam doesn't like to do the podcast every week, and he's lacking energy sometimes. I'm not dogging on him, but like, he's human. And then some people just kind of like flake on me, even though they say they're going to do the podcast, they just don't. They don't remember they have something to do, and I'm not going to hold them accountable for a podcast. It is just an hour, but it's still an hour out of your day, which is huge for some people. I don't know how long this is going to be because I got to make some cuts or whatever, but I hope it kind of satisfied you for a week, because I know I'm not going to make a podcast, but I'm going to be live like all week on Twitch if you still want to just watch me play some games. I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, but we can have conversation like this. You can join my Discord, which I'll link in the description. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this week. I hope you guys have a great Monday, since this is when it's going to come out. I hope. I'll see you guys later. Peace.